The materials that you're going to need for this project are going to be your yarn. I'm going to be using white for the main color instead of black, so it's easier for you guys to see. Red for the heart and the diamond, and yellow for the sleeves and the neckline. Then a pair of scissors, a needle, and a 5mm hook. To begin, you are going to make a slip knot. Insert your hook into the slip knot, and then make a chain that goes from one side of your body to the other side. My chain is going to be 60 chains. Now that you have your chains, you are going to chain 2 more, and then you are going to half double crochet into the 3rd chain from your hook, and just half double crochet all the way down your row. Chain 1, turn your work, and then put a half double crochet into each stitch. You are going to continue to do half double crochet rows until your project reaches from your belly button, the top of your belly button, to about a 1/2 inch to an inch below your armpit. Once your top goes from the top of your belly button to just a little bit below your armpit, you are going to cut and tie off this yarn, and then you're going to take your yarn again, and you are going to make a slip knot. Count 5 stitches. We'll start on this side. So we're over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to go into the next stitch and pull your slip knot through the stitch, chain 1, and then half double crochet all the way across until you have 5 stitches left. Five stitches are left, so chain 1, turn your work, then you're just going to half double crochet all the way across and continue doing half double crochet rows until your project reaches to your collarbone. So up till this point, your front and back panel are going to be the same. For the back panel, you're going to continue to do half double crochet rows across till you get to the top of your shoulders. But for the front panel, you're going to find your middle stitch. If you have an odd number, you're going to have a stitch in the middle, and you're just going to mark it. I'm going to mark it with a different color yarn. Just like that. And then you're going to half double crochet down to the stitch before your marker. Now that you are at the stitch before your marker, you will continue to make a half double crochet, but you're not going to. So you're going to yarn over again, go into the middle stitch, yarn over, make another half double crochet, and then pull through all of the loops. Now you're going to turn your work. You're not going to chain 1. You're going to skip this first stitch and go right into the next, and then half double crochet all the way down your row. Chain 1, turn your work, and then you're going to half double crochet back down your row and half double crochet the last 2 stitches together, And then you're not going to chain one, you're going to go into the second stitch from your hook and half double crochet all the way back down. You're going to continue this pattern until your project gets up to the top of your shoulder. Cut and tie off your yarn, then attach it to this side and do the same thing you did over here. Once you finish your front panel, you are going to make a back panel or vice versa. But once you have both of your panels, you are going to slip stitch them together. So to do that, put the side that you want to be on the outside. You want to sandwich them together so that they're facing each other. And then you're going to take your yarn and you're either going to attach it or chain one. And then you are going to slip stitch into the other panel and then into the other one and just slip stitch just like that. And you're going to slip stitch the same amount on each side, but you're going to make sure that the hole in the middle is big enough to fit your head through. I'm going to slip stitch 11 together, 11 stitches. So that was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I'm going to do 10. And then cut and tie off your yarn and do the same thing to the other side. Now, after your shoulders are done, you are going to slip stitch both sides together the same way. Now, keeping your project inside out, you're going to take your yellow and make a slip knot. Insert your hook into the sleeve, pull it through, chain one, put a half double crochet into each stitch, and when you get to the corner, you're going to put a half double crochet into the same stitch that this is on. Then you're going to put a half double crochet into each half double crochet row. So, just like that. Continue to do this all the way around till you get to the beginning. Now slip stitch into your first stitch, chain one, and now you're going to front post half double crochet. So you're just going to do that. You're going to go under the stitch and make a half double crochet. And just continue to do this all the way around. You are going to continue to do this for a total of 6 rows. So I only did 4 rows. I'll have to go back and edit what I said. And you already know that I messed up because you already watched the edited part. But now you're going to cut a long tail and tie your yarn off. Then flip it right side out. Now you're going to take your needle and you're going to sew the end of the yellow to the beginning of the yellow, just like this, so that it forms this little, I don't know, bubble-ish type thing. And you just sew around the whole sleeve. Here's what it's going to look like once you've sewn your sleeve down. Then you're going to do the same thing you did to this side over to the other sleeve. So we're now going to move on to the collar. Switch back to your white yarn. Make a slip knot. And then attach it to your project right after or right before the V that you made with your decreases. And then you're going to just put a half double crochet into each stitch, going around the neck all the way over to the other V. And then you're just going to chain one, turn your work, and go back around, and repeat that until you get your collar to however tall you want it to be. And then from there we are going to switch back to the yellow, and I'll show you that when we get there. I did 5 rows for my collar. So now you're going to take your yellow and make a slip knot. Then you are going to make a chain that goes from here all the way around the collar back to here. And then you're going to make it even just a little bit bigger than that, so that when you sew it on and then put it on, you'll be able to fit your head through here still. It won't be too tight. So I have about an extra 1.5 inches in length. That should be good. And then you're going to chain 2 more, and then put a half double crochet into the 3rd chain from your hook, and just half double crochet all the way down your chain. Once you get to the end, chain 1, turn your work, and you are going to front post, half double crochet again. And you're going to do this all the way down. Chain 1, turn your work. Now you're going to back post half double crochet. So you are going to go in from the back, then out to the back. Just like that, one more time, in through the back, then out through the back. You are going to finish this row, and then you are going to do 1 more front post crochet, back down, and you should have a total of 4 rows. So now that you have your 4 rows, you are going to cut a long tail because you're going to use it to sew these ends together, and you're also going to use it to sew onto your project. So it's got to be pretty long. So cut and tie off your yarn. And then take your needle, and you're just going to sew each side together. I'll show you if I can get this. There we go. So you are just going to sew the ends together. Just like that. You will do this all the way down till you get to the end. Okay, if it's twisted up, it's going to fix itself once you sew it on. So you're going to fold it in half. And you're going to put the middle of it right at the V and pin it down. I'm going to just tie it down with another color yarn. I'll move it once I get to that spot. And then you're going to flip it over. And you're going to sew it loosely on to the collar so that you are still able to put your head through and it doesn't get stuck. I am going to put my top over this mannequin and I'm going to sew it on that way. So I'm gonna just put it on like that and then sew it on.